DCA adventure is rated F for fucking awesome.
What is going on, guys? Welcome to DCA Adventure. We are here on DeFi Madness. It is Wednesday. Or Tuesday. That's Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday.
I leave in a couple days. My brain's somewhere else still. Going on a trip, so my brain's still somewhere else. So, how are you all doing? Welcome, guys. Thank you all for being here. We've all had a great day. It's been a pretty good day. Market's still looking pretty good. For some coins, not so much. But that is the crypto. So, what is up, Crypto Padel? That guy Oz, Emmanuel, we got Jay in the chat, and we got Jay over there as well. Well, everybody say what up to Jay. We got Shane, D Tech Man, Steven Rinko. We got Mega. What up, Mega? I'm not gonna go the rest of it, but I'll call you Mega. What up, James Grits? How you all freaking doing? Guys, we got a special guest with us here tonight. Now, that is Sir Tristan over here. Man, how are you doing?
Doing awesome. Yeah, thanks for having me. I really appreciate you guys having me on the call and the live stream, and doing great and excited to talk about our project and talk about the future of where we're headed.
Dude, thank you for coming on. And if y'all do not know Sir Tristan, man, that is so hard. That is like a hard word for me to say for whatever reason. One of my neighbors is named the same thing, and I have a hard time saying it. And he always gives me a hard time. He goes, "Why is that so difficult?" I don't know. I can't quite figure it out myself. It's kind of annoying.
Just shorten it to Tris. It's easier.
I'll try, but I doubt it will happen.
Okay.
But what is going on, guys? So the word "sir," can anybody guess what this guy's from? I don't know. The title probably gives it away. But talk about KnightsDefi tonight, guys. God, that is some interesting stuff. If you saw 2 weeks ago, we had an AMA with Alchemist, and they actually, the day after the AMA, they had a partnership release with Knight right here, and they were like, "Hey, we'll reach out to them. We'll see what they want to do." And I was like, "All right, cool. That'd be cool." And I was like, "That'd be awesome. I would love to get more DeFi, projects on the channel. Not many DeFi projects do stuff like this, so it's nice to get this, even if it is, they say some DeFi projects stay completely anonymous. You don't know who the actual contract owner is and all that great stuff. So at least thank you for coming on and talking. I do know that you do remain somewhat private. I'll kind of bring that up a little bit later because it's just kind of an interesting aspect of things. And coming from having the AMA the last couple of weeks ago with Alchemist, and he was more than welcome to show his face and say what his first name is, and everybody else was cool with it too. And I was like, what? So some people stay completely anonymous. Some people will at least talk to people. Some people are more than glad to show their faces. I mean, it's crypto. I mean, we have everything here. But it just kind of gets me is projects do that, and it doesn't mean the project's bogus either. Though that's the funny part is it doesn't determine the project. Most people actually prefer completely anonymous people. I keep some level of anonymity, other than of course on what you see on YouTube. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I find
I'll definitely.
It intrigues me.
I'll definitely address it however you would like, whenever you're ready.
I mean, you can go for it now if you want.
Yeah,
it's funny.
There's a There's a couple of things to consider, right? So, I'm
Right.
dealing with a lot of people's money. And even though I don't have ownership of the tokens, I do have ownership of the ecosystem. I can make changes to a lot of the features. I time lock them, but I have access. And maybe it's an arrogant thing to think, but I don't want to be a target, and there's a serious thing to think of when you're dealing with other people's money. Do I want it to be a situation where we end up, 10xing or whatever, and then I become the target of scammers or hackers or whatever, and then it ends up being people that ruin the entire ecosystem? That's a legitimate concern. It's not very hard for people to do social engineering, or not even social engineering. I work in IT, so social engineering probably will not work on me. But if hackers target people, they're going to get them.
Oh yeah,
Period.
for sure.
Right.
Especially if you had a Facebook account.
Exactly.
In the past, few years, all of your information is out there right now. Like every stinking bit of it. Hopefully, we've all changed your passwords in the past couple months, because you need to change it again, probably again in a few more months, a few more weeks, because that's big. That's big, man. Like, you have everything.
So it's not so much out of my own concern for my identity. I'm doing it more for protection of what I have access to. So that's really my viewpoint on it. Is I don't want to be a target. Also, my wife isn't super cool with me sharing my real identity online, and even when I play video games and things like that. So I just try to keep it a little on the down low. That's really kind of the way I approach it, man. That's really
Right.
it. It's not that I'm afraid of. I mean, you guys saw my real name when I joined the Zoom meeting. I'm doxxed with several members of our community. They know who I really am, but I just don't want it to be public. That's it.
I totally understand it. Totally understand as far as trading and helping people learn how to do it, and yeah, being a target is a really big thing. So I'm always doing things to prevent that from happening as well.
Yeah, I mean, I completely get it. I understood it walking into this, but a lot of people last week were really ecstatic. They were like, "Oh, I really love that they're being out there and open and showing everything," and then I just don't want people to be misled or misjudge something due to you wanting to protect yourself, your family, your project. It's not, and everybody else in the project too, because if it's more than just that, it's all the funds. If he has control of a lot, then he could do a lot. He could move funds to, you could dump funds, not burn tokens. There's tons of things that he could do, plethora of things, but leaving out that is easier to mitigate that.
But honestly, I don't have access to people's funds. I removed all of the migrator functions.
That's why I was trying to move away from that spot.
Definitely.
No, I can't say that, because that's not true.
I don't have access to touch anybody's funds, but they could do stuff like set battlefield rewards extremely high. That's one thing they could do, and it would create incredible inflation. And if we create incredible inflation, then the token's value will go way down because everybody will sell it. There's a lot of things that people that could pull the levers could do, which is why I look at SafeMoon. SafeMoon's a good example for me. They retain ownership of the contract, and there's almost zero reason to retain ownership of the contract. They could time lock it, let the LPs go to the burn address, and you saw that they got called out. Now, they're not a scam, but people immediately jump to, oh, they're a scam because they still hold ownership of their contract. And really what I've done with all of the contracts I write, I try to make sure that they're very stable. I don't have to touch them at all. They run. Nice. And that's the way that I want them to be. I want people to have access to their funds. I want people to be able to interact with them however and whenever they want. Every change I ever make to it goes through a voting process, and then we show the transactions. I am very open, and I share every transaction that I make with the contract in chat. Everybody's aware of it. I usually give at least an hour notice. Sometimes that's not enough for an international crowd, and I get that, but that's kind of the approach I take.
Right on. I appreciate that. Mm-hmm. It's good. It's good learning stuff like that. Of course, because I am in the process of kind of learning more deeper dives into this. I've never learned Solidity, and that's kind of where I'm going towards right now, just to kind of learn it, put it underneath my belt. I've done stuff like this before, so it's not out of my wheelhouse. But haven't ever learned it, so I want to learn it because I think it'd be fun and it would help learn deeper into stuff like this. But you saying this, I wouldn't have known any of that part without you saying it, just because people don't say that much often.
If you have any questions about it, I'm very, very open about the contracts and how they're written and how they're managed, and be more than happy if you ever have any questions about Solidity as well. I'm becoming quite a decent Solidity dev in a short period of time. I think I grasp it extremely well. I'm writing custom contracts, and
nice.
Like, I'm not just cloning contracts. The Battlefield is a completely unique contract that I wrote from scratch.
You're gonna say there's no other DeFi project like this doing stuff like this. Not any that
no, definitely not. Not that. I was looking. I was like trying to find anything. I was like, there's got to be something out there that it's compared to. And I can't find jack shit. Like I lost. I can't win this one. And it's good, and it seems very cool. I am still kind of confused about it, but that's why I got this guy on tonight, just because he can explain that to us here in a minute. I do have a question about the tokenomics and the platform in itself. It is a layered. We are talking about layered farming on this aspect, right? So, if I can. Share it. Let's do it else. Share screen. And it's not open. Boom. So, there we go. And as you can see, here's all tokens. Make sure everybody else can see this. Y'all can see this, right? Okay, everybody. Looks good.
Yep, looks good.
Cool. So, sometimes you have to share the same screen on OBS and in Zoom at the same time. So sometimes if you don't get it right, then someone doesn't see it.
Right.
So here we go. What up, Crypto World? How you doing, buddy? So here we go. So here's all of tokens, layers, as you would call it. So I would assume you are a fork of Goose, right? Is that a possibility?
We're actually a fork of Pancake.
Okay.
So
you're a fork of Pancake, but built more into it?
Yep. Yeah, I basically have overhauled the vast majority of the functions besides the farms and pools. I'm using a lot of their hooks, but most of the way I'm doing things, I'm not using Pancake's code. So Battlefield is completely, like, the front end and the back end of it is completely unique. And I just, that's a cool thing to try. So watch the Battlefield logo and just toggle the light mode real quick. Yeah, what? See?
Nice.
So little touches like that. We did some things to try to improve the UI and make it a little cooler. So go ahead and toggle it back, and you'll see that it switches back to the night mode version. Like, just little touches like that, things that Pancake's not really doing, trying to make it more appealing.
It don't look so cartoony. So,
yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, and that's something that I cared a lot about early on. When I started this, it was really because I got rug pulled on so many other yield farming projects, and decided, like, what if there was something more mature? And I know it's not going to be a great meme that's going to go, huge immediately, but what if we build something that's a little bit more stable and builds a community around it that actually wants to stick around and continue to participate months and maybe even years from now? Because I can't stand the pop-up yield farms that they start off at $200 and then they're down to 5 cents in a day, and they're rampant. They're all over the place, and it's so easy to. There's actually a company that if you pay them, they'll script out a Pancake clone for you, and you pay like $100. So it only costs them $100 to script out a new site, set up some farms, and then steal people's money. Basically, is what they're doing. I mean, they're
sick.
They're crooks.
Yeah, that's sick.
You can easily go look at on BSC scan. And just,
Yeah.
you can easily go type in the name of the same coin. You know, never trust just the name, because you can type in cake and you'll get like 5 or 6 different cakes.
Yeah, exactly.
And you'll go like, oh, that's the one, and you'll go click it, and you're like, I'm gonna go buy that one, and then you buy a token that's just a black hole of nothing.
Right.
I just went and dumped a whole, a whole BNB into cake, and I didn't get any cake.
Yeah.
And that happens, and it sucks and it's sad, and that's why, like, this morning I released a few of the videos I've had pushed into the Patreon exclusives, guys. Which Patreon, if you want to join, guys, link is in the description below. Join there. Trading with the View is the tier that the paid DeFi of Madness. I say paid because now there is a free like a free chat down in the Trading View section inside of DCA's Discord. You can look in there, and there is actually it just says DeFi Degen, and it is accessible to everybody. Please don't spam like scams in there.
Right.
I will not have that. But you know the rules. Those these that are in there, you know the rules. If you want to join the Discord, also down in the description below, would appreciate it. But this morning's video, we released tools on how to look at stuff, go over contracts, reviewing your contracts, making sure that it's okay, where sites you can look at that and double check, because it's always good to double check. So, guys, just be safe, please. Be frosty. Double check. Don't be afraid. If you think it looks fishy,
it's fishy.
Yeah. Actually, that's one thing that I
don't put your private keys anywhere. Nowhere needs your private keys. Nowhere. Only when you create a wallet that you like, a new wallet, and you're importing that wallet into it. That is the only time that you ever need a private key. And when you're doing that. It's not like, oh, hey, your wallet is asking for your private key all of a sudden. No, it doesn't do that.
Right.
That is bad news bears.
But it's funny though, right? Because I mean, a lot of it, and everybody keeps saying the devs have the power in blockchain, and a lot of it is because we can just read code. I can go and look at a contract and see whether it's a scam or not, pretty fast usually,
right,
and make sure it's legit. So one of the things I highly recommend for everybody is just learn a little bit, at least learn the basics of what to look for in a contract. Like, how do you look at ownership? How do you look at liquidity? How do you make sure you're not about to get rug pulled? And if you looked at Knight's price right there,
no, I was just
it just jumped 20% while we started this conversation. Wow. So
that's freaking fantastic.
We can get into some price discussions here in a minute.
I'm about while you're talking, I'm gonna look this up real fast.
Sure, yeah.
On good old trusty Dex. See if we get it with full degen mode. I know it's cool. I'm cool being a full degen. I'm not ashamed.
Me too. I have my moments.
Look at that, guys. Right there. That's what he's talking about. Just
getting by. Yeah.
That is fantastic. Guys, by the way, this link is also down in the description below. Use it. It's extremely helpful. I have grown to actually love this tool. It's fairly easy.
Yep. And actually, on our site under Tokens Info, we link out to Dex Guru. That's also the charting tool that we link out to. So if you go down to Tokens Info, and then you have the chart for all 4 of the tokens right there. So you can look at the contract, you can look at the charts.
Yep, I see it. That's fantastic. Oh, I guess y'all probably can't see it, or it's in a little white text, but yeah, it shows Dex Guru, Dex Guru, Dex Guru. Y'all are fantastic. FA in the chat for that, guys. Jeez. Which, if you don't know what FA stands for, it stands for fucking awesome. Just like the show. The show is rated FA, which stands for fucking awesome. I can't do the speech like that, like Chris and Nim, but one of these days. I used to have it on my deck board, but over here, but it broke for whatever reason. I don't know why the button broke, but I gotta refix it. So we'll see it. We have 23 watching, 15 likes. Smash the like button. That is right. Smash the freaking like button, guys. smash the like button. Share this, please, with everybody and anybody. Would be greatly appreciated. If you guys have any questions in the chat, please say question in caps and ask a question. I would love to answer, or at least not answer, not me, but put forth a question and give the community a chance to ask something, because I think that's pretty fantastic. I think we did talk a little bit about a special thing for the viewers later on in the stream, if I'm not mistaken. So
That's correct.
We'll look into that here shortly as well, guys. But back over here on Battlefield, this is the interesting stuff. This is what I don't get. This is what I don't get too much, because I was like, it's really cool and it looks interesting, but it confuses me.
I'll give you the full rundown, man.
You can do it. I'll even give you the screen if you want to full run down it.
I don't know if I need to. I can if you want, but I don't think I need to. So you saw the logo, and the logo toggles between dark and light mode, which was a touch we added after I added dark mode, which took me way too long. And after I added dark mode, I was like, okay, yeah, this should have been the default anyway, because it looks so much better than light mode. But the general idea came from I wanted to start using multiple tokens, because I started seeing the power of native token pairings. And one of the things about a lot of farms is they do a lot of non-native pairs. And when you do a lot of non-native pairs, if you don't punish people who stake non-native pairs enough, they just liquidate your entire project, because you get people that go in with BUSD, BNB, and they stack, $150,000, and they suck up all of your tokens from that pool, and they just sell it. They don't participate in your ecosystem. They don't hold. They don't believe in your project. They're liquidating you. And so I wanted to create something different. So maybe let's, before we get into Battlefield, can you go to farms real quick? And I'll show you the way we're doing farms is I don't have non-native pairs, except I have BUSD BNB at the bottom. So it started with Knight BNB, and then we had table BNB, and I'm just trying to get some liquidity added. And we're giving away, Knight as a reward. And but you look at the multiplier on the BUSD BNB, and it's 0.01x. And actually the APR on it's super high right now, because nobody's in there. There's no incentive. I mean, it's like $6.
$6. Someone has $6 in there.
It's probably me, actually. The way Pancake's code works is to calculate the price of your tokens. It calculates the price in BNB first, and then it calculates BNB to BUSD. That's how it determines the price of the tokens. So just using the liquidity pools. So that's basically how it works. Anyway, so I wanted to have options for people, and I wanted to have something that was fun and a little more engaging.
Mist.
And you see we have a partnership with Mist. Alchemist George and I talk almost daily. He's an awesome guy. We've been working a lot together on, just discussing ideas and stuff, how can we help each other out in some ways? And we've helped each other out with advice or coding decisions, or, what's the best way to approach a certain strategy we're employing. So I think there's a lot of synergy between the two groups, and they kind of have a natural fit as well. And their story is so incredible to me, how they picked up after their former dev, abandoned them basically, and
sold off the project.
It's fantastic. I mean, it's you don't get stories much better than that. The community stood up. They found people that had the right skill sets, and they took ownership.
People in the really like what they're doing, which was pretty fantastic to hear. That George was a community member and was like, "I'll do it." I'll take charge, and then they took charge, took over the team, and it's doing great. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Price of Mist itself is going down a little bit. I think people are dumping a little. But Ararium is doing fantastic. It's been it went down a little bit, down to 27 this past a week or so, but it came right back up to 40. So doing fantastic. So it's
a lot of it comes back to. A lot of it comes back to community engagement, getting people to believe in what you're doing. So
they got a great community as well.
Absolutely. So, introducing multiple tokens was something that kind of interested me, and, people in the community have talked about it too. And some people go, why have multiple tokens? You could just have one token and not spread the money across multiple tokens. And for me, it wasn't necessarily just about money. For me, it was a lot about engagement. How do I get people to stay interested in Knights? And how do I make it as cohesive as possible? Like, so swapping, people were swapping their Knight for table instead of swapping it for BNB and selling off all of their Knight. They looked at table and legend. Table only has 13. There's 13 of them available, right? And when when you have a low supply, like
yeah, 13 table.
There's only 13 table. So it's the market cap on it is really low right now. But we're at an inflection point. I'll call it an inflection point. The crypto J curve. We're at the point where a lot of the early people who weren't interested, and we actually have some table that's burned as well. And we've had price that was, $40,000, I believe, at the peak. And certainly we've tapered down a little bit. We're at the point now where we're getting ready to start growing very rapidly, I think.
Right.
And
this is
we'll talk
mid-month, but this is also mid-month of when everything was kind of going down just a little bit. So
exactly.
Kind of got to think about that.
Yeah.
Which takes apart everything. When Big Daddy Bitcoin goes down and everything else starts going down too, everything else follows. It's just the way the cookie crumbles. That's just kind of is what it is. But the market's looking healthy. It's not looking bad. It's looking healthy. So we'll see what's going to happen. I'm not a charter, so I can't say anything else other than it looks healthy to me. I can really say that the fluctuations aren't bad. We're seeing this, and it's not bad. We're seeing low fluctuations per day, and that's fine.
Very, very rarely do we see days of we rarely see huge dumps. It hasn't been very common through we've been around since February 27th, I think, or 28th. Which was when Table got launched. It was actually the first token. And, its price started off at $13 a piece. They were $13 a piece. So people that got in early have 1,000 times their money. They 1,000 times their money.
So one person just bought one.
Yeah. And I kept back, a quarter of one for myself. And that was it, and I just put it out there with, I think, like half a BNB just to see what happened. It was more like, okay, I fully renounced ownership. I fully locked liquidity and I went to bed, and I woke up the next day and it had gone, up like 10 times. And I was like, okay, maybe we can start pushing this a little bit and get people interested and engaged. And that was kind of the formation of the group. And then I realized we needed to keep people engaged in Table to some degree. And that was when we launched the Knight Farms. So launching the Knight Farms was the next evolution. And then Legend was actually launched alongside Battle. It was launched slightly before Battlefield, and it was fair launched. So, we had a fair launch event, but we didn't really market it very much. And there's only 155 of those as well. So it went from a legend at first, and I think, I don't remember how much BNB, I think it was only a few BNB in liquidity at first, but it went from $30 up to $600 that day. It was like a crazy thing, and it went down. It's fluctuated as well.
Not bad.
And then Squire was a fun thing we added. And so we can go back to Battlefield now, and I'll explain why Battlefield. So one of the things I noticed about a lot of farms is whales own everything. They take up a huge percentage of a lot of the pools and farms. And so if you scroll to the very, very bottom of the screen, there's a formula. So I ran numbers, like I said, I have an IT background in software development and IT applications, industrial systems primarily, but I have a broad background. So I was like, well, what's a way that we can get it to where everybody gets to participate and not, or most people, I wouldn't say everybody, because, if somebody tosses 10 Knight in there, they're not going to get very much, maybe not any. They need to build an army. So the idea is that you need to have some of all of the tokens to really build an army and to maximize your battle, your army strength. But it uses logarithmic math for Table and Legend, so people can't just stack Table and Legend, which are limited supply, and take full ownership of the battlefield. So basically, every 10 times you put in of table and legend, it only doubles the amount of your battlefield. It doesn't 10 times it. So it actually is diminishing returns. So it encourages people to put some in, but not too much.
Right.
So that's really where the math comes in. So if you scroll back up,
if that they would lose too much. It's almost like an impermeable loss situation.
Exactly.
If they put in too much, their rewards will not be greater than what they're going to lose.
Exactly. It's about a 7-day ROI for entering,
which is interesting.
Based on
she got 5.94.
Yeah, and that means about half of the entire supply have been staked in Battlefield. Yep. And the same goes for Knight and Legend, and in Squire. I'll explain that in a bit why that number is so high. I'll explain the fun thing we did for the community and what we'll continue to do for the community, because that's where I have fun. This isn't just about money for me, man. I want to have fun, and I want everybody else to have fun and engage with the ecosystem, daily or more than once daily is really my goal. Is people jump in the community, they log on to KnightsDefi every day, and they go, oh, I'm going to compound my battlefield. So if you scroll up to the top, I'll explain a little bit more. Right here. So it says battle for rewards by sending your Squire, Knight, Legend, and Table to war. And really what it is if your army percentage determines your stake of all 4 tokens. So you don't have to have Squire, for example, to have an army, but you'll earn Squire. You'll earn all 4 tokens based on your army percentage. So really what it is it's kind of a min-max. If anybody does RPGs, you min-max your builds and you try to optimize the way that you're spec'd. And in the same way, this is kind of a min-max for farming for me, to me, it's for everybody, but and you build up your army and you get an army percentage, and it will tell you what your army strength is and what the percentage is of the total army. And it will actually estimate what your rewards are of all 4 of the tokens.
All right.
The rewards are decent. The APRs aren't extremely high. I'm not going to lie and say, oh, it's the best APRs on, but because there's not really APRs. It doesn't work that way because that's not a one-to-one. It's not a one-to-one.
I was like
ratio.
APR. I was like, I didn't see the APR on this page. I was like, you throwing me off every second.
It's not a yield farm.
What did I miss?
It's not a yield farm in the traditional sense. It's a lot closer to a vault, where you basically want to build your army to the way you want it and then just compound. You don't want to have to move things around day to day, because there are punishments, right? Knight has a 5% burn and 5% reward pool, and that just adds Knight back into the pool so more people can earn it. There are external fees on our Squire, Legend, and Table tokens that are just part of Reflect and liquidity.
Now, what is external fee? Like, explain that.
It's
what is that going to do?
Yeah, it's the token's fee. It's the native fee of the token. So Squire, if I send it to you, I'm going to pay a 2% tax on what I send you. 1% goes to liquidity, 1% gets reflected to other holders. And one of the cool things I'll talk about here in a second is the way that the reflect fees get reflected back to Battlefield naturally. And the Battlefield contract is actually smart enough to harvest the reflect rewards and give them back as rewards to Battlefield participants. I don't believe anybody else in the entire industry is doing that right now. Everybody else just lets it kind of, it gets lost.
Right.
So I actually realized it was a golden opportunity to let people earn Table, because Table's limited, right? It was all in liquidity. I don't actually have any Table to give people, or Legend for that matter. What happens is every time people transact, it gets sent back to this contract and people can get it as rewards.
Okay. So there's only 13 and will ever only be 13.
Correct. I renounced ownership completely the day that I made it.
But there is no burn of Table like this. So there is Table that gets lost, of course, in a fee, basically.
Yeah.
Technically.
So not really. The way that it works is there's a 2% reflect on the table. That 2% gets reflected back to any holder, including Battlefield, because Battlefield holds 6 of the Table, right? So it gets half of the reflect fee, and that's how you get rewards of Table back into the Battlefield, as an example. But the burn side of it is, yes, we have a member of the community. We're going to call him the executioner, who has had fun burning our tokens a little bit, just burning little pieces of it and creating an actual burn mechanism for fun.
Okay.
So now, because the burn address, the dead address, is an address just like any other address, it gets the reflect fees too.
Correct.
So there is technically a burn. It's not baked into the contract. It's just part of the natural reflect. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So there's 6. So the battlefield has 6 of the table, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So now, because I haven't put anything in here and I don't have my wallet synced up for obvious reasons, people. But so right here is just the harvest button, right?
Yep.
Harvest, and this is the staking button. So once you put in here, you don't pull back out. Like, this isn't a pull back out situation. Like, am I correct or incorrect?
You can unstake. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just curious. If the battlefield always holds 6. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying.
No.
That's just kind of where I'm trying to grab my head. I was like, so is the table, is there 6 always in the battlefield? Is that what it is? But no. Okay, so people can pull out, so it can fluctuate.
Yeah. People can pull out. It's not like you send it.
That's all I was curious. Table was just the example because it's a low number. I don't have to try to say that number.
Parse that number. Yeah, sure.
This number is super easy to say.
Yep.
6.
Yeah, so what this actually means, the 5.94, it's actually just reading the balance of the contract. So it's looking, it's both the rewards and the staking combined. But yes, it can fluctuate. People can pull out and unstake whenever they want. But they pay that external fee, right? They pay that 2%. And I made it public here for a couple of reasons. One is I want them to know they're going to lose 2% every time they move their table. They need to be aware of that. And the transparency is a big part of what we try to do, is make sure people understand and make good decisions with their tokens. And I'll try to avoid calling it money, because it's not money until they sell. But try to make good
until it hits fiat.
Exactly, until it's in your hand, right? But the other thing is I've seen other farms not take this external fee into consideration when they stake. And I'll just give a basic example. So if I want to stake 1 table, well, I already paid a 2% fee, so I don't actually stake 1 table. I stake 0.98 table. But what happens in a lot of farms is they allocate 1 table to the staker. So people can just stake and unstake and stake and unstake and actually withdraw other people's tokens. And I've seen it happen with some of the big yield farms. And I'm not going to name any names, but people not understanding the technology behind that and the implications of that led to, I personally worked with a guy who lost $10,000 on one farm trying to pull it out. And then I looked and I was like, the contract doesn't have enough tokens to give you back what you staked. So people not taking that into consideration is a huge problem. So anyway, that's the reason the fee is posted, so people understand they're going to lose a little bit every time they move their money.
Correct. Okay. Yeah, it was
it's something you never think about.
Yeah.
Never thought about that.
Yep.
Cryptology's over here. He's really liking this, and this is kind of tight, and he goes, "Oh, okay." So has a couple questions. So the rewards could empty quickly. Looks like Dean Oche. So the emission rate has sustained itself thus far. He goes, but being in Battlefield from day one, rewards haven't emptied. They've gotten low, but that's why it's a vault. Correct. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah,
it definitely makes sense. Like trying to wrap. If you want to think of it as anything, I guess you could think of it as a vault in a sense. If you want to call it that.
Yeah.
It's hard for me even think of what it is, because there is nothing else out there.
Exactly.
So it's really hard to wrap your head around it sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. And actually, it's a very fair question, is, are the rewards going to run out fast? And we've actually been changing emission rates to try to keep it sustainable. What's going to eventually happen, and this is just me priming the pump here, is people are going to start aping these coins. And as those transactions increase, more of the tokens get put into rewards in Battlefield. So it's really based on transaction volume. So as people start buying and selling more, as we become more of I don't want to say household name, but that's kind of what I mean. You know, people know our name and people want to buy our coins, and people buy and sell. Some people swing trade, some people just invest and hold long term, you know, whatever. It's going to increase the rewards, and we'll adjust the emission rates to stay sustainable. We've adjusted them several times already. We usually put it to a vote. A lot of times I just provide the math and say, hey, this is how we can sustain it over the next 7 to 12 days. Here's the rate of emissions. When would you guys like to change? You know, and I think a lot of people have appreciated that transparency about it. I mean, I don't hide it. I put the rate per block of each token, how much it emits from the rewards.
Yeah, which is over here.
Well, that's the minting.
So this page. I was like,
is on Battlefield. So Knight gets minted, right?
This irks my nerve.
Why is it doing that?
It does it to me with every platform. I feel that.
Oh, really? It's like it's a Twitter feed, so maybe you have Twitter blocked somehow with like a ad blocker.
I've never figured it out. I've even turned my ad blocker off, and it never works on any sites. And a few people ask it too. They're like, "Why does your newsfeed work?" And I'm like, "I don't know. It works on on my other browser, but it doesn't work on this one."
Right.
So it's just weird.
But yeah, if you go back to Battlefield, on each card, it says rate, and that's actually the emissions rate.
Oh, okay. Right.
It's not minting anything. These are all tokens that have already been minted. They're already in circulation.
Right.
And Squire is kind of an interesting story. So originally we started with Night Table and Legend. Legend was the primary reward for Battlefield. But I quickly saw that our trade volume wasn't really high enough to sustain Legend at the rates I was emitting it to begin with. So I, went to the drawing board and I was like, okay, what about we do a stealth launch of a 4th token, and it starts getting kind of comical at some point. But we stealth launched it, and actually it kind of proved a point. I was able to easily add it. People were earning the reward and didn't even know it because it wasn't in the UI. And then we just dropped the bomb on them, like, hey, you've been earning this new token for the last 4 hours. Go check your Battlefield. And people were able to go in and immediately claim it and do whatever they wanted with it. It had liquidity and everything added. So that was a fun thing that we did. And there are things about that launch that I wish we had done better, like built more hype for it to try to raise more awareness. And people love fair launches. That fair launches are super popular right now. And we could have done a lot more with it than just stealth launching it.
Right.
But it's been a cool thing. We've been people have been trying to figure out like what's the price going to look like, and they've been trading it for Night or trading it for the other tokens. Some people sell, and that's inevitable. But overall, it's mostly stayed inside of the ecosystem, which I'm really happy with.
Yeah. One of my go-to things that I've talked about, on streams and on the Patreon a few times is my method. If I'm doing really well on a platform and making a considerable amount and tokens are pumping, I will dump a little bit of the token, not a lot. I don't want to influx price. I don't want to move, too much, but I will dump a little bit here, there, move it into BUSD. But the BUSD, I'll usually bite the bullet, and if the platform has a BUSD, this one doesn't, but usually they do. And I'll buy they usually take a 4% fee, and I'll just put the BUSD back into the platform. Just that way it stays in the platform. Just kind of things like that. You got to think about that. Because that stuff is you're helping yourself out by getting a stable dollar value of some profit, but you're also still putting it into the platform and earning more off of it at the same time.
Exactly.
And it's still good for the platform.
Yeah,
it helps. It helps. Yeah, think about that kind of things.
Yeah, and I think
that's very helpful.
Really important. Yeah, it's really important.
It is, because some people don't, and they just
ape
dump it and then get out, and then they're like, "Oh man, look at the price that token's dumping. I'm glad I got out." It's kind of your fault, but it's cool.
It's kind of your fault, yeah. Yeah. But that's the thing, when whales sell and then panic sellers sell at a loss. That's actually the biggest problem that I see in most
strong hands, guys. Strong hands.
Exactly.
Okay. Don't paper hands it.
Yeah.
Hold steady.
Yep.
Hold steady. It'll be
so,
okay.
Any other questions on Battlefield? I know it's a lot to consume, but really, if you follow the math, And it's kind of a weird math because Solidity doesn't recognize decimal points as part of the math. So technically, there's 18 decimal places on all of the math figures, which messed a lot of people up. They're like, wait, but I'm only have 0.01 table. Isn't that actually reducing the amount I have? Well, no, it's actually 1 times e to the 16th, table. It's just, they don't, it's not represented well for people to look at. So
cryptology, it's like a grown-up money game.
Yeah,
This is next level money gaming.
Exactly.
So
He's like, I think I like it.
When are your estimated daily spoils paid out? Is it the same time every day, or
it works just like a farm? It works just like a farm. It uses the block timer, so they increment
the rate.
The rate. It just increments over the time. You decide as to when you want to compound or harvest. So so as soon as you compound, you'll immediately see new numbers start popping in. And the compound all actually works across all of the tokens. So what it does is it looks to see if there's a matching staking token. So I can actually reward tokens that can't be staked. That's another cool thing I added to Battlefield, is I can easily add new reward tokens without making them part of the equation for staking. Okay. So actually the next token the next and hopefully last token that we're going to launch, we're going to talk about that a little bit today. This one's it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to increase our volume a lot. And once people start realizing where we're going with this, I think a lot of people are going to be really excited. And I'll dip into that after we maybe cover what we have today.
Mm-hmm. I don't think anybody else has any questions about Battlefield in the chat anyway. Okay. Jay, do you have any other questions about it?
Nope. I'm just watching. I put both Squire and Knight, and I'm thinking about doing Legend too, just to do it.
My recommendation, and this is just for everybody, you guys, and for everybody listening, because of the way the math works, put $5 of Legend and $5 of Table in there. It will boost your army percentage very significantly because of the way the math works. So you're incentivized to put in some Legend and Table, but it can literally be like tiny amounts, and it will make a huge difference to your army power because of the way it's an exponent, right? So it's a good multiplier just to have a little bit.
Got it.
And then what I recommend is everybody just stack Knight. Knight is by far the most powerful unit in the Battlefield. It's good to have Legend and Table at good amounts, but Knight is really and Knight and Squire, I guess. Squire is really good as well if you buy a lot of it. But you can also just earn it and then compound it in and keep increasing your army strength that way. So it recalculates your army strength every time you make a change to your staking.
Forrest and Loss over here, because it's a true legend, takes profits responsible. Hail Sir Trish. That's right, forest trees take profit responsibly. Exactly. You have to.
Exactly.
It's good for it's good for the community to do it too.
Exactly.
And it's good for yourself because you still make them.
Exactly.
This is awesome. So once I'm off stream, I'm gonna start getting into this and start checking it, because that's pretty interesting. You can just kind of leave it there and see what's kind of gonna happen.
Yep.
Just let it be.
Yeah,
Now, what I was seeing over here, I was kind of scrolling down the side. I do actually want to hit Oz's question real fast. He says, if this is my first time getting into KnightsDefi, what would create a good flow? So I'm assuming you mean like a good flow of said, income, but not like dollar income, but income of tokens.
So there's two strategies, right? So one could be just farming and pooling, like your normal yield farming strategies, and our APRs are decent. They're not like astronomically high like they used to be. I mean, they used to be 8,000%. But
you got quite a bit there. So I mean, what do you expect?
Right, exactly. So,
but not bad for what is there.
Yeah, right.
Especially for what it is.
Yep. And actually, those used to be a lot higher before prices have dipped, and we'll go into price a little bit deeper here in a little bit. But, we lowered the emission rate of Knight to try to combat inflation. And
how do you find this cryptology? Down in the description below, If you want to find anything about, guys, not just you, technology, but anybody, if you want to learn anything else about Knights, DeFi, everything is in the description below. You'll find the links to their website, which you can, that is the Knights DeFi, like what we're looking at currently right here. There is even the Twitter. There is the Medium post, always bright white, freaking Medium, as well as good old Reddit. Good old Reddit. And there is Telegram link down there. Click that because it just was up the link to go to Telegram. But yeah, you can find all those links down there below. Like, please click them. Go venture out. Do your own fucking research. Don't just take my word of advice.
Yes. Yeah. Do your own research.
I always encourage people to go look at it yourself. Like, even though I'm talking about it and he's answering your questions, still go look at it. Go read. It's good for you.
Yep.
And it's just good to learn. But yeah, so you got farms here. I saw pools, which of course is night, so you're earning night, which is what, 162 APR. Your stake. I like there's like a little. Does this logo change depending on how much you're staking?
No, but that's actually an awesome idea. I could totally do that.
Like you got to go up in the ranks, man. The more you're staking.
Make it more distinguished for every yeah.
Boom. Community. Loving it. So as you can see, guys, those are pools. Now I did kind of go through here again. Pools, King's Chance, right?
So yep, this is
you want to get into the lottery system. Here we go. This is always fun stuff. I've never won any lotteries. I've played several in multiple platforms. I've never won any of them. That sucks.
So
I have terrible luck though, so it is what it is. I just take it. But yeah, I'll probably play this because I'm a sucker to play a lottery and never win. Like I play Newegg Shuffle every single day for the past 3 months, and I haven't won once. So I'm a sucker to lose, man.
But our odds are a lot higher than most other lotteries. So we only go 1 through 6 instead of 1 through 15 like Pancake does, and most are doing we almost always have winners, right?
Right.
Even if they're just match twos. And then we send a portion of the pot back to the battlefield. And then I'm going to rewrite.
Which is nice. I like that.
I'm actually going to rewrite the lottery so that you can buy tickets with any of the tokens. And if you win all of the 4 tokens. So basically try to start scaling it up. And then another thing we're doing, if we go to the Queen's Gallery, is you can buy NFTs here. We basically have I created a custom contract that works as a marketplace.
Going for it.
It missed. Well, if you scroll down, you'll see the total sold on it, and it's much more than the others because I think and it's my favorite as well. Yeah, it's 10,000 Squire. It's $5. It's $5.
Just kidding.
So it's $5
total sold
and
79.
In
it to win it.
Yeah, so I think it's definitely the most popular of them. But I wrote a custom contract for this actually, and we did a beta test, and I gave final beta test. If you scroll down a little bit more, you'll see a beta NFT. Oh. So I just created these silly. I mean, they're silly, quite frankly. I made them. I'm not an artist, but I decided to make some fun ones for 1,000 Squire and just see, let people interact with it, learn what the problems were. What usability problems do people have with buying and selling? And I made a lot of quality of life improvements based on that feedback. Like we added the copy contract button so you can paste it into your MetaMask and see your NFTs.
These are funny.
And these are, so we have the concept of knighting in our community where people who have given a lot to the community, whether it's through,
love it.
Yeah, through advice or, through anything really. I mean, if they've contributed in some meaningful way, we've been going through a knighting process, and I've been letting people pick their own, what do you want? Do you want me to make something for you? Do you want to provide something? Cool. Do you want to, whatever. But it's a completely unique NFT for them. They have the final art. These are just snippets of the art, right? I mean, what you're viewing here isn't the actual NFT. When you own one, you can click on it, and it actually links you out to IPFS. The NFT is on blockchain. Okay. On interplanetary file system, and it's distributed. I can never touch anybody's art. So unlike some of those hacks that people were doing before where they'd sell something for $6 million and then just delete the file that it pointed to, these are permanent. Everything's permanent. There is no way it is immutable. I can't change it. They own them forever. They're completely unique. I hope they're and most of the people are very proud. They wear these in their in the Telegram as their profile pics. So I think there's a lot of pride, as well as, being a knighted member of the community. And then down below, we have the Grail team. So this is the founding team / marketing team / artists, and actually we have another one we're getting ready to add. We added a new
good old you.
Yeah. And they highlight purple when you own one. So it actually highlights it in like a purple outer and it kind of a glow.
Okay.
And shows
kind of like what is like some of like the farms. Some of these farms are like they have like that border that glows around them because they're like
exactly like
they're
that.
super hot.
Yeah, they're super hot. Yeah, but it signifies that you own it, and then you can click it, and it takes you to the actual final art that's designated from the metadata. So
I like that.
So we're gonna keep building this. I actually just launched this yesterday, and we've already sold. You saw 80 of the mystics.
Yeah,
and
quite a bit.
50 of each of the others. So what happens with the funds?
79, 50, 55.
Yeah.
And they're all same price.
So. Yeah, they're all the same price. These are kind of the common NFTs. We're going to roll out more rare NFTs, 3D animated ones, some really cool stuff coming forward. I'm excited to share. We only have a couple of artists working on things right now.
Are we allowed to submit NFTs?
You as of right now, it is whitelist only. I'm making it whitelist only to control the quality of the content as well as make sure that so the artist earnings, I set that, right? I can basically dictate what percentage the artist earns, and 30% is the max. That is the max I'm allowing anybody to earn on it. What happens with the rest of the funds is they get put into a pool on the contract. I call a function called distribute rewards, and what that function does is it burns 40% of what's left. It sends 20% to the battlefield, and then it distributes the remaining 40% between our marketing fund. So because a lot of people ask for tokens when we do marketing campaigns, they ask for some of the native tokens. So it's like, hey, this is awesome. This is an awesome way that we don't have to like go and buy tokens, but it also incentivizes us not to sell. So what's happening pretty much with all of that is it's removing most of them from circulation effectively. Nice. Or routing them back into battlefield rewards. So right now we have it set up where Squire is the only token that can be used to purchase NFTs. We are going to add NFTs that can be purchased with Knight, Legend, and Table.
All right. I dig it. Well, I want to make an NFT on here whenever I can. I want a banner right here with like the DCA like triangle logo, like an 8-bit. You know what I mean? Like that'd be dope. So whenever that's available, let me know.
So I am going to eventually add a component where people can submit their own NFTs and it will automatically put them on the marketplace. It's really not a complex process. Adding a new NFT is about 5 minutes of work for me total to add it to the UI and to add it into the contract. But it's a delicate process that I don't want other people messing around with. So right now it's owner only. What will eventually happen over time is I'll set it up to where it automatically sends your image out to IPFS. It automatically generates the metadata, sends it to IPFS. It submits the metadata as part of, to the contract to mint, and you set price and you set your artist percentage, whatever, how many you want to be minted, all of that. They're just parameters on the NFT contract. So I'm pretty proud of it, how fast it came together, quite frankly. I wrote it completely custom.
I dig it.
Yeah, and it works flawlessly. I've not had any issues with it. Ready for an audit though. So I need to get an audit on it, make sure that I don't have any kind of weird bugs that could be exploited. It does have time lock capabilities and all of that. So
and it's cool.
Yeah,
like it. 4 Soviet NFTs launched yesterday. I was like, I'm gonna go buy my first NFT. That's awesome. He goes, dude, there's a series of NFTs, and we'll have bonuses in the battlefield assigned to them in the future. Because I bought 3 of each. One day people will want to buy them from us just to boost their yields and other reasons.
Yeah, and that's another thing that we're going
Where's
to
the
add.
FA banner flag? Wait, hell yeah, DCA banner flag, right? I don't even care if it doesn't do anything, just to like have it. And there needs to be 69 of them, just because, why not? Just for the trolls.
Ironically, maybe not ironically, but people who got number 69 on the beta NFTs, and then number 69 on the these NFTs, the latest production NFTs. Everybody shared it and everybody laughed about it. So we're all juvenile.
It's always a funny number.
We're always juvenile about it. I guess.
Giggle, man.
I'm almost 40 years old, and it still makes me laugh. So.
Oh yeah, we were giggling. I was giggling the other day on the Patreon stream. It was Patreon only, and we're sitting here and we're talking about Titanic token. I'm saying it, and I'm giggling like a little girl on the inside because it's absolutely hilarious to me, and I just I can't stop, and it's just I'm like, oh my god, it's terrible. I know it's bad, but it's funny. Just the little things. You gotta enjoy life, guys.
So this is gonna keep expanding. We're gonna add more NFTs. Like I said, they're really easy to add. The hardest part right now that we're dealing with is really just getting the art made and making sure that it's of the quality we want. And then we want to add functionality to NFTs. So you can go in here and you can read some things we did, chat, some interviews we did, AMAs.
Nice.
Just stuff I've posted. I'm not very good at social media. I'm not gonna lie. This is really hard. It's really hard for me to remember. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to go write a Medium article.
Right.
I need to get better about it, honestly.
Writing articles is my least favorite thing to do.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, it's I want to do the work. I want to do this stuff. This, building this out and adding features and making it better to use and letting people enjoy, interacting. That's what I love. So those are
he loves it. Cryptology, he was like, I'm gonna go look at the GitHub, and he went to the GitHub and he goes, I like it. It's nice looking code. So he's already went and just did what I asked. Sorry, the train coming by. They hardly ever do, but when they do, man, they're loud. But yeah, so it's nice that he dug through there and did his own research. Just to look.
I'm a terrible front end coder. I mean, I am terrible. So if you do find anything in there that's bad, or you think I could do better, let me know, or feel free to contribute. I mean, I'm definitely it's public now, so feel free to
see the battlefield.
The contract.
I'm assuming it was just a question. It says, can we see the battlefield? I'm assuming the contract, yes.
Yeah.
I'll have a video coming out here. I'll have a video coming out soon of actual battlefield of me in it, and we'll walk through it because I can edit a video and I can hide addresses and help anonymize myself. But right here I cannot. It'll full blown show everything, so I will not. But Crypto Vidal, you're in the Patreon. You'll see before anybody else does. But yeah, and Crypto Vidal. So I'm not mistaken, you got stuff coming, right? You got it? Did it?
Yeah, I pasted the Battlefield contract in there for you. So if you want to paste that out to chat, they can go out and take a look at it. Yeah, I haven't really exposed it in the front end, and I'm not really sure why I haven't. But we actually had to roll out a second version of Battlefield. There was a bug in the first one. It was kind of funny. It made me cry a little bit, and now I'll say this verbally, and people maybe will understand why I was so sad about the situation. First off, I had a lot of family stuff going on, but I wanted to, I know how crypto is and how easily FUD can ruin, a good thing. And my mom passed away, and I took the opportunity thanks, man. But, but I was still working on this 12 hours a day. I felt all weekends. My wife was like, "Are you okay?" Worried about me. And my mom passed away the day before it was supposed to launch. And my head wasn't on right. I'm just hey, I'm just going to go ahead and launch this thing. I think it's good. I think it's ready to go. And Shame on me, to be quite honest. I should have pushed it out a week, and I think everybody would have understood. But I launched it, and there was a pretty significant bug in it, and I ended up having to pull having everybody pull their funds out because, like I said, I can't move their funds, I can't touch their funds. Right. So I had to have everybody unstake, and obviously you see the external fees, the burn percentages, and I was like, guys, look, I'm going to pay you back everything I can. So I paid a lot of it out of my own pocket on the external fees, and I gave away almost a whole table, but it was like 0.8 tables. So you can see how much a table's worth now, but back then it was worth like $40,000. So I gave away like, I don't know, it was a ridiculous amount of money to just to make it right, because that's the way I approach things. I didn't feel it was my mistake.
Money's irrelevant, but yeah, you did exactly. What you did right. That's all it matters.
Yeah, exactly.
What you felt was right, whether or not even in some stance was right because of the situation. It's still what you felt was right, and that makes you such a better knight, right? Right.
I try. That's what we go for. Honorable with integrity. I mean, that's really the goal. Is how do we stop abandoning projects? How do we get people to engage for the long term? How do we keep adding features and improving the ecosystem? Get people to spread the word and to buy in. And I'm looking right now at some of the logos on that left pane, and they're pancake logos. And I'm like, man, how can we like improve those logos and get rid of the tractor? I mean, there were no tractors in medieval times. Anyway,
you need a catapult. You need a catapult there.
That's an awesome idea. Yeah. In Battlefield, we wanted crossing swords. Like there's so much work to do, and we're a small team, but we're rolling out new features almost every week. I work fast, and I'm not trying to brag about it, but I work fast, and I try to deliver when I say I'm going to deliver. It's just who I am. It's part of my being. To do right for the community, but
let me know. I'll run through you like I am right now, just kind of like this, and just pointing out little things that you're like, oh, like, yeah, that'd be nice to do that, and just like give you the idea, the spark to figure out like exactly what it is that needs to be there. Or, I'm pretty handy.
One of
this help, but
so I'm the only dev on the project. I'm the only dev on the project, so I have to prioritize my work. I can't solve all the problems, and there's a lot of things like the Battlefield calculator is one that I've promised the community for a while, and I never gave a date, and it's time now for me to probably put that in there so people can. And actually, the contract has a function that you can call that will estimate your army strength.
Always with the tractor. Yes, Shank Diesel.
So I actually have it hooked into where we can pull that data back out pretty easily. It's just moving from one thing to the next, trying to continue to add new features and stuff is taking a bigger priority. So it's probably time to revisit that after our next launch, which I can talk about now if we're good.
Yeah, sure. We can head out on that.
Sure.
I see some people asking, because we mentioned it earlier. He says, Forrest says, 2S of the drops coming, whispers. Hasn't even started talking about shilling it. So yes, there is a knighting of speak gonna happen, right? That's a nice way to put it. But yeah, so we'll have that coming out here towards the end. We'll go through what the last part of this right here that he has talking about what's coming up next and the big upcoming changes, and then stay tuned for what's gonna happen after that. Watch the chat.
Watch the chat. All right. So the first thing is, we're still working on, NFTs obviously are a piece of what we're going to continue to roll out. And we talked about that and adding features to the NFTs. And one cool thing that I'm going to do is add an NFT that's actually, they're going to become equipable. We're going to have a concept of an armory. You're going to be able to equip items like you're in an RPG. And those items are actually going to help boost other features. It's a little bit of smoke and mirrors, I'm not going to lie. So what ends up happening is you're going to buy an NFT, and then you actually stake your NFT to your profile. And that will actually stakes to another contract, which is then used to boost your other features. We're going to add things like lucky dice for King's Chance, where in the new version of the lottery, if you win, you'll get extra percentage of the rewards from the pool that would normally go out. That's one example. That will probably be a pretty rare NFT and be fairly expensive, but we have people that want to play every lottery. So that's just a part of what they do.
Yeah, I played some pancake lottery back in the day before cake started getting kind of expensive, and I was like, I'm not wasting $20 on a lottery.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't even go to like a gas station and pay $20 for a scratch off. Like, absolutely not.
Yeah, my optimal price for the lottery tickets is somewhere between $5 and $10. The only reason that I go that high is because of the gas fees. So if you bought, let's say I've made it one night and you could just buy a ton of tickets. Well, if you try to buy 100 tickets, I don't know if you've ever tried to do that. The gas fees alone will eat you alive. And it's just because the way that the lottery works is it mints an NFT for you. So you have to pay for each one of those to get minted.
Correct. Yeah, I noticed that on Slime. Whenever Slime Finance released their lottery, they had a bug in it when they first released it. The fee was like astronomical just for one. And everyone's like, why is the fee so high? And they're like, fees for buying a smart chain is only like 30 cents at the time. Well, why is this fee like 0.01 BNB? Like, this is astronomical. And they were like, and they kind of explained, like, that like it's not just, you're not just like putting slime into a contract, you're actually having to mint an NFT, and that requires BNB in itself. So it,
I'm
more into it than you think.
When we design lottery version 2, I'm not completely convinced that you have to mint an NFT to do what they're doing, and I think it can be done with a lot less gas.
I'm not a big fan of V2 for them anyway.
Oh, not their V2. Yeah, I'm talking about my lottery V2.
I was like, I'm not a fan of their V2. I was like, it's been nothing but a shit show.
I don't want to talk too bad about PancakeSwap. Obviously, they're the benchmark of swap, liquidity providers and everything. But
it's made it rough for other people, projects, not people.
They were selfish. They were selfish a little bit, and I wish they had taken the time to, give people, a couple of weeks. So I was prepping for an NFT marketplace launch, and all of a sudden we get this dropped on us, and it's like, okay, do I need to move everything over to V2? Do I not need to? The router is still there, so what can we do? And they turned off the ability to add liquidity into V1 on their site. So I ended up having to move all of my stuff. And like I said, Alchemist George, helped me out. Did me a favor and added our tokens natively to their platform's exchange, and all of my trade links and all of my purchase links now link to Alchemist DeFi. I hope it doesn't weird people out too much, but it's just where we're at now. But we actually have our logos there, unlike PancakeSwap, where our logos are still not there. And I think it'll make the trading a lot easier for other people. I tried adding an exchange. I'm not gonna lie, I spent about 30 minutes on it, and I was having compile errors, and I just kind of gave up because I had bigger fish to fry. Obviously, we're more than an exchange and a liquidity provider. We're trying to do NFTs in the Battlefield, and I think now is probably a good time to start talking about the last piece, which is shilling, and what we're going to do for that, and where we're going with that, and what the goal is. I guess is really the important piece of this, if that makes sense. Okay, so obviously yield farms are losing a lot of momentum right now, and that's putting it lightly. I think you have Safe Moon and other tokens like that are coming out. And I'm in several of them myself. I mean, I'm not going to bash them at all anymore.
Right.
I used to bash Safe Moon because I was like, it's just a clone contract. It's more than the contract. It's what they build with marketing and hype, and they're masters at that. They're really, really good at it. I want to get better at that, and I want us to start helping bring more holders to us. So one of the things that I've taken some notice on is that fair launches are, that are getting severely hyped. They're getting thousands of people to ape in on these tokens really early. Well, what if we did something similar, except we don't dump on people? We actually let them continue to grow in value. So that's the concept of shilling, is that it's going to be a token used for parlor games. We're going to add a gaming part of the site. I don't know what it's going to be called exactly yet, and it's not going to be ready probably for the shilling launch itself. But people are going to be able to play games against each other. Think simple, like rock, paper, scissors type of games at first, but we'll expand it over time as people have ideas, or people have maybe
Some
examples.
Kind of like jousting game.
Exactly. Yeah, there you go. That's a perfect example.
Gotta throw it in the mix.
Yeah. You could do something simple like jousting with like a rock, paper, scissors type of system, right? Yeah.
Right.
Aim high, aim middle, aim low, whatever it is, we can come up with good ideas. Anyway, the shilling token will actually be used to buy into those games. So it's going to be like a gaming token. But the way we're going to launch it, first off, and this is important, is 25% of the supply is going to be added to Battlefield, friction-free for the people who are in Battlefield. So if you're in Battlefield now, you're going to earn shilling. So you're not going to have to move your Battlefield. And this was a goal of mine from a long time ago when Battlefield is to add rewards. It means get in now. Yeah, and I mean, our prices are such a bargain right now. Our prices are such a bargain right now.
Not financial advice.
Yeah, not financial advice.
We do this for complete fun.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, hey, you make some passive earnings on the side, so win-win.
But our prices are so low right now, and what I anticipate to happen, again, yeah, you're right, not financial advice. I can't control price. I get people in chat occasionally going, "Why is the price down?" And it's like, why do you keep the prices down, guys?
That, man.
It's like
there's always that one guy that comes in chat like, why is the price down? The whole market's down. I don't know.
or the simple explanation is more people are selling than buying.
Right.
And I can't make people buy. What we can do is add make as a platform, make it attractive to people through high APRs. But the problem with high APRs is inflation, right? Through new features, but the new features are confusing. So, I mean, it takes time for people to get into our ecosystem and understand what it is. And then I think over time, people start realizing like, hey, this is actually pretty cool. And it's different than anything anybody else is really trying to do. There aren't very many platforms out there that have multiple tokens. Anyway, Battlefield, 25% of the shilling is going to just be put immediately in Battlefield. 50% of it's going to get burned. So I don't know exactly what the final supply will be, but it's going to be a pretty high supply. Billions, it'll be in the billions. Yeah. Our launch.
Poor guy, man. Go through the DeFi of Madness. It's pinned in the DeFi of Madness thread in Discord, which is the paid Patreon thread. And there's a link go to the very top, and there's a whole bunch of unlisted videos, Crypto Videl, and it'll give you a super rundown. They're like 10 minutes a piece, and you can get to the first few of them, and it'll run you down, running through Pancake Swap, how to perform transactions, everything, if you're having issues. There's videos there, easy digest, 10 minutes long, and you'll be good to go, buddy. I don't want you to see you struggling, trying to get in. But yeah. Just want to put that out there. I don't want him to forget or miss out on great opportunity.
So the way we're going to handle launch, though, and I'm still working out some of the finer details right now, like exact amounts and how we're going to do it. But, it's just going to show up here and people will just start earning it. It will not be stakeable, meaning it's not part of your army. It will only be a reward.
Okay.
So it's not going to complicate your math or anything. You're not going to have to be like, oh, now I have 5 tokens I've got to worry about for optimizing my army. It's just going to be a reward that people get just for staking it. The other thing I want to mention about shilling, and this is another cool point, is it's actually going to be a fork of MRAT, so Moonrat. I don't know if you're familiar with Moonrat.
Yeah, I've looked into it a little bit.
Okay, so it's going to be a fork of Secure Moonrat, actually, not Moonrat. So it's going to use Pancake's V2 router, and it's going to allow people who hold to earn BNB. What it does is, and I don't want to get into the technical details
Have
too
my
much.
interest at earn BNB.
Yeah, and it just you earn BNB. Period. You don't have to do anything. Except just claim it whenever your timer's up, and you can claim at start. It'll at least be once a day that you can claim your BNB. I don't know what the amounts will be like because it's really based on transaction volume. So what happens is a little tiny piece of every sale. Some of the BNB will get harvested into a pool, which then you will be able to pull from. So Moonrat had a bug in their first contract, and somebody exploited it and was able to pull all of the BNB out. Well, they have a new version out that's audited, and it's called Secure Moonrat. Anyway, so people will be able to earn BNB just for holding, and people will be able to harvest out their shilling, and they'll be holders, and they will be able to earn it that way too. So you either, and the way we're going to launch it is we're going to do a free launch. Or a fair launch, rather, not a free launch, fair launch. And we're going to build some real hype around it. We're going to actually market this thing in a way we've never done before and try to get people hyped up for it. And what will happen, and what I'm anticipating will happen, is people will learn that they can also earn it in Battlefield, and it will, by proxy, hopefully, allow all of the other tokens' value to start coming up. Get people engaged in Battlefield. A percentage of the tokens will also get reflected back to Battlefield, which should keep it supplied with shilling for the foreseeable future. Just the way that everything else is working, it was built with that in mind. Battlefield was so that any reward token I get that has a reflect capability will automatically get reharvested. It's not hard coded or anything. It's just any I could put Safe Moon on there, whatever, Moon Boys, whatever, I could put any of the reflect tokens out there as rewards, and the same thing would happen, is those rewards would get reflected. So that's where we're at, and the launch is going to be next Friday. I don't have an exact time, but that's going to be May 7th. So we're going to launch that on May 7th. We're going to be starting to spread the word and start getting some momentum on people, from people to start joining our community, and maybe, convert some people into actual
it's 10
holders.
days, guys.
Yeah, it's fast. It's coming up fast.
Start the countdown. 10 days remaining.
So trying to make sure I didn't miss anything. And John, if I missed anything, ping me. But I think I hit all of the main points.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Excited.
Yeah, there's nothing else that I've seen that's been quite like this,
Exactly.
Which is what makes it interesting and fun in a sense. Which is kind of what you should be doing, is having some fun. And playing the Battlefield is kind of like throws you back, because like you were saying earlier, like playing like an RPG almost. So it's interesting to me. I like that, and I'm ready to go dive into that and kind of learn about it and get my toes wet.
Awesome.
That's for sure.
Yeah, it's
for sure.
Yeah, and the thing is, we've been around for 8 or 9 weeks now. I wish I knew exactly how many, and I knew the number of days, but we're really about longevity. And I remember telling people, like, I want this thing to last, and people being like, you've been around for 2 weeks, or I think at the time it might have been like 3 days, and they're like, how are you going to outlast any of the other yield farms? And I watched other yield farms come and go, and you could see, you could see the writing on the wall from the day they launch, right? Sometimes they're overly incentivizing non-native pairs, and they get liquidated really fast. It's just the way it works. But honestly, the dev probably made out like a bandit with the deposit fees, but everybody who invested late or when the price was high, got put in a bad way. And it happened to me a couple of times. Yeah, exactly. It's basically a rug pull. And, we're really about trying to change, and I've had this feedback, and I think it's really fair. I've created kind of a home. And when I say I mean we as a community have created a home for people who have maybe been abused a little bit by the system. What we need now for the holders, for the people who have been loyal, is more holders. We need people to buy our tokens and incentivize people to stick around, because right now everything's starting to hit hot. And I think the launch of shilling is really going to increase the value of our tokens. I think it's going to increase engagement. It's going to increase rewards in Battlefield. Of course, again, not financial advice. I can't control what happens, but this is just my vision of what is going to happen. So my suggestion is, if anybody is interested in buying some Knight, and the other thing I missed, I have to remember this because John will get me later if I forget, is we're going to increase the multiplier on Knight when we launch shilling. So Knight will become more powerful.
Is that here in the pool?
In the Battlefield.
In Battlefield?
So Knight right now has a 100x multiplier. If you scroll down to the very bottom, see it says Knight times 1,000 or times 100. We're going to increase that to 500. So Knight is going to be 5 times more powerful in Battlefield. And the main reason for doing that is because Knight people ask, well, what's Knight's utility? Well, Knight's utility is to earn all of the other tokens. And selling Knight is, to me, mostly insanity when you could earn these ultra rare tokens or earn other tokens we can use to buy, play games or just hold it and earn BNB. I mean, I don't want people to overlook that, just earn some BNB.
I love this chat of you. Like, how do I buy Knight? If you go to the main website right here, you can actually just click on the Knight logo, and it'll take you straight over to PancakeSwap, which will give you at least the contract address. You can't really do too much with this UI, which I kind of wish they would use. I like this UI. I don't know why, but I wish they would use it for something other than just kind of garbage it.
Always being behind by 1,000 block or 100,000 blocks.
So you can go here at least, and you can click I understand, and you can click trade, and it'll take you into PancakeSwap. And see, just like that, it pulls up the Knight address. You click I understand.
We actually have direct buy links as well. Yeah. So if you go back to the site, there's buy tokens on the left. Yep. And there's the link to buy each one. Yep.
There you go. Even better.
And actually click on one of those. So this is what I was talking about with with Alchemist.
Still buying.
just go ahead and click on one of those, and you'll see that the
square.
Yeah, sure. And go ahead and hit enter. But see, the logo is actually
the
there.
logo. How about that?
Alchemist George helped us out, and now we have logos, and you can search for our tokens in their exchange as well, and they're there. So they're.
I added them. I added them to my wallet, and all the icons come up. That's pretty sweet.
Awesome.
It's fantastic. PancakeSwap. Come on. You're slacking.
Well, I think they're probably backlogged with requests. It's not
they're backlogged
until you get
fixing their mess with it.
Yeah, but somehow their price is up 50%.
Yeah, I don't understand that one.
Yeah.
That's good for them.
Yep.
Good for them. But guys, if you're looking in the chat, all right. So in the chat, there's been a nice little it's a little bit of a link dropping. All right. So if you go to the link that's been dropping up in the chat, I'll post it again for you all right here. Go comment on that video. Go comment a nice comment. Like it. Subscribe if you're not. Also, go join Knight's Telegram. You guys go in there and just put a bunch of FAs. Just FA. Just want to see it. I love it. Tell him to pair on HyperSwap. If he needs a contact, I can help out. Much love there, Bitcoin Jake. So we can help you out with that, apparently, if you want to get on HyperSwap to get figured out as well.
Changing liquidity providers is a very, very daunting task. I've actually done the research to do it. It would be very, very expensive and difficult for us. I don't know if because HyperSwap uses its own router, right? It's its own AMM.
Yeah, it's its own router.
But maybe that it's actually kind of a good idea to maybe start getting in with the other AMMs as well. So it's something we definitely should talk about.
While talking about the pumping right here. Everyone's buying some night right now. They're like, oh no. Stop talking about it. It's pumping. I know we're up to what 0.62 now. It's 6 cents running on up.
Yeah.
Running on up. But yeah, guys, make sure you click that link because we're gonna give out what some night? Is that what we're giving out? A little bit, just a little bit. Was that what we were doing tonight?
I can't remember if it's Knight or Squire. I don't remember if we gave Knight or Squire. John will know better than me.
John, comment. I forgot. Nope. I was trying to scroll in the chat and I couldn't find it. Maybe I was scrolling too fast. Tell me.
Well, if you need anything else for a giveaway, man, just let me know.
Will do.
But,
exclusive. Like, yeah, it's an exclusive. This whole experience has been exclusive. And this is like awesome. Like, I love this because I've needed help, kind of going over stuff like this. And here we are talking about this, going over this. People can refer back to this video if they need to. And you can go far as time-stamping a specific spot in the video of talking about Battlefield. And we can just link like that. And, hey, you want to learn more about it? Right here. All of that. Absolutely love it, guys.
Appreciate it. Any other questions for me?
He said, night. Oops. Night. I'm assuming night.
Yeah, Knight.
So Chase says night.
Okay. Yeah.
So awesome.
I couldn't remember if we were doing Knight or Squire.
Oh, he says Squire. Which one is it? No, Chase. You answered two different. You answered two different. You gave two different answers in two different places. You're killing me, man. I'm loving it.
Tell you what, if you need
chop me off at the knees.
If you need the other one, let me know.
I don't need any legs. Just swing on my arms. Jeez.
Well, one of the funny things. One of the funny things is the price got so low that it's it's been hard to not buy.
It says we're giving away 50K Squire.
50,000 Squire. It's enough to buy one of each NFT or to get a Battlefield army started.
Boom, right there, guys. 50K Squire, brother. Got it. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome.
Got it. So make sure you go comment on that video because that's the only way to get in on this. And that's fantastic because it might help you get in some more on your army, right? Just help you save a little bit there, and you can just go buy some Knight, some Legend, and some Table. Because like you said, it does benefit you to like at least put $5 of like Table or Legend in.
Yep.
Because it does, like it says right here, because it completes the equation.
Yep. Otherwise, you're just multiplying it by one. Yeah.
Right.
So adding anything is really good.
You're only getting this, and you're missing out all of that.
Exactly. You got it.
Dig Deep Miner, I'm ready to win. Dig Deep Miner, of course you are. You always win, man. You're always a winner. Like always. It's rigged for you. It's rigged for you, buddy. Just for you. DCA Trebek. Yep, good old DCA Trebek, man. Pamp it. On the 50K giveaway. Super sick. Out freaking standing, says Oz. I love it. Of course, smash the like button, guys. Make sure you smash the like button. Hit the subscribe button, the bell notification, so every time we go live here or post a video, any kind of content comes out on DCA Venture, you will be notified. And that is just beyond FA because where would we all be without that? Even then, sometimes check in from time to time because sometimes YouTube doesn't like to push notifications. We know. It happens. But Doge Lord gonna take the win this time. I don't know, Doge Lord. I don't know. Funny man. TT Miner, you're still my hero. Always his hero. Always his hero. So guys, we'll pop open this lovely random comp here because it's been like the best one viewed so far. I'm gonna go check the video real fast just to be safe because sometimes comments get blocked. I don't want anybody's comment to be blocked for any reason. I want everybody to have a fair chance. Fair chance. Looks like no held comments. Everybody's good. Everybody's gravy. Alright. I like it. I like it when there's no issues. That's not always. So even we can do this, and anything goes, not include replies. And guys, we got 10 comments, guys. There it is. 10 people loaded up, ready to go. So how do we want to split this up? Do we want to do one whole 50K giveaway? Just one big shebangy? And go all out?
Yeah, I would do it.
Alright, so that's the way we're going to do it. So here we go, guys. Crypto Technology says, wait, how do we do this? Man, I have posted so many times. Comment on that video, like right now. Like I'll give you a minute because we've been running up on this live stream for quite a while.
Yeah.
I think it's been hour 30. It's been an hour 30 on this live stream. Time flies when you're having fun. Jesus. Let's see.
As a extra comment for the listeners, I'll make 2 quick points here. One is feel free to join our Telegram if you have any additional questions. The community is incredibly helpful. I'm in chat every day as well. I'm not like the secret hidden dev who never talks to the community. I talk every day with the members of the community. I love it. I wouldn't trade it for the world. So feel free to drop me a line, talk to anybody in chat. Everybody wants to help everybody else out. So, very helpful community. And the other thing I want to note is, we're at 8 weeks, and anybody that knows anything about the crypto J curve understands that, after a compression or a consolidation, whatever I call it, an accumulation phase personally, it's time to buy. That's my opinion of this. And it's, again, I'm not a financial advisor, but I think we're getting ready to really, really start seeing ourselves on stage 3 of the J curve and start seeing very serious growth come through, because we're actually delivering the things we say. And we're doing what we say we will do, and people are going to start noticing. And it's once people start noticing, it's going to go up a lot faster than it went down. I'll just say that. So, just kind of my comments. Not trying to say, hey, go buy immediately, but if you believe in the J curve, you maybe want to check us out. It's time.
14 comments, guys. Look at that. I just went up 4 comments. There was 4 people out of that one link that I posted that wasn't commented. That is amazing. You're all amazing. FA, yes, FA's in the chat. Oh my gosh, I love it. Just keep it rolling, guys. FA all the way. FA, and I'll press pick a winner. And
do it.
Do it. He said, just do it.
Do it.
Oz? No way.
Brother.
No way. He's been trying so hard. He goes, this has helped me grow in the crypto space by leaps and bounds. I can't say thank you enough.
Awesome.
That guy, Oz, dude. You're amazing.
Appreciate you, buddy.
FA, buddy. FA in the chat. All you need to do, buddy, is just send me your Binance Smart Chain address and your MetaMask wallet, and get you taken care of, buddy. Just give me a bit of time, and we'll get you taken care of. And,
rigged.
Yeah, rigged. Rigged. Someone has to say it. Of course, it's you, Doge Lord, because you're like, it's finally my turn to win, and then you don't win at all. Duke D Miner says, now that guy Oz is rigged. He goes, now you're my hero. You know, switching places, man. Out freaking standing indeed. I love it when he says that.
Yeah, me too.
That is one of my favorites. Man, that guy Oz. Congrats, dude. Gonna get that 50K Squire. Man, I'm not you, man, but get up in that battlefield, man. Help yourself get some extra earnings.
Hell of a
some
start to an army.
Heck yeah. That'd be fun. Oh, rigged? Jeez. Okay. Yeah, it's always rigged. Every time. Always rigged. Every time. That is... But guys, I think we'll be probably wrapping this one up. If there is any like last minute questions, this is your last and only chance. He says, I about fell out of my chair. Dude, don't do that. It might hurt. But I know I'm pretty good on all my questions. You've answered everything that I've asked, and you've been extremely forthcoming with any kind of information and any kind of help. You know, you've been very helpful, and that's just awesome. You know,
thank you very much for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. I mean, this is awesome. It's the first time anybody in the communities, besides people that I know in real life, you know, have heard my voice. So hopefully they're not.
He's a real person.
Yeah, well, or they're not, yeah, or they're not like, oh my gosh, he sounds like a dweeb. Oh my gosh, what do we get into?
They're like, oh man, that's not what I imagined his voice to sound like.
Yeah, right.
I imagine it sound like he's like 12 or something. You know?
Image shattered.
It's like, oh man, he's a real person. Dang.
But like seriously, guys, like anytime, come in the chat, you know, at me. I mean, I'm probably on Telegram way more than I should be, to be quite frank, and definitely always willing to help people and provide information if you need to understand the calculations better, or you want anything, just anything at all. I'm always willing to help out. Other members of the community always willing to help out. As a big part of our culture.
Yeah, that guy Oz, he says, thank you so much. He goes, huge FA to the Knights of the Round Table. Yes. Awesome. Thanks for letting us sit at the table with you tonight, man.
Yeah,
you know? Yeah. It's always nice to sit there and kind of talk to people and like-minded people, just pick brains, kind of get their point of view as well.
It's nice to talk to the guys of the assets I'm trading, you know? It's cool. Yeah. I don't get to do that very often.
No,
yeah. Well, hey, you know, maybe here in another month or two after we're in a different position, you know, maybe we'll have to do this again. Maybe even sooner. You know?
Heck yeah. Get that banner. I'm shooting for that banner.
Yeah.
I'm striving for it.
Get you a Mystics banner. Yeah.
Yeah. That and get a DCA banner put up there.
That's what I'm yeah. Well, let's talk about it, man. Maybe we can make something happen.
Yeah, I'm all down.
All right.
Love that. Absolutely, guys. FA in the chat. Absolutely. Bitcoin Jake, is 500 nights enough, or should I go for 1K? No, let me buy some. Stop buying them. Jesus. Just kidding, buddy. Moon it.
Yeah,
1,000's good, but remember, you need to like have some in all of them to really be effective in the battlefield. So remember that before you buy more. Spread it. For the kingdom. That's right, man. That is right. Dang right, there, Forrest. Yes, I did see my DCA GPU hangers. We're actually going to talk about that tomorrow night with your husband there, Pocket Change. You'll talk to him. Great Baldini tomorrow night on here on DCA Adventure for 3D Print Wednesdays. We're going to have a 3D print and chill and talk some 3D prints, guys. It's going to be some fun. You can check that out tomorrow. Same time as this showing was. Not as long, but you know, great information nonetheless. There was tons of great information in this video, so please smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, bell notification, and go join their Telegram and guys, go get knighted, right? Why not?
Really get knighted.
I love it, guys. Thank you all, and thank you again for coming out. And
No.
I greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Really appreciate
Yeah,
it, guys.
dude. All right, guys. So we'll be rolling out of here, and we'll catch y'all on the flip side, and we will see y'all tomorrow.
See you guys.
Good night, y'all.
Later, man.